Strange Darling is a thriller written and directed by J.T. Molnar and starring Willa Fitzgerald and Kyle Gallner. The film is presented in 6 chapters and an epilogue, told in a non-linear fashion outlining the final crimes of a serial killer. Set in rural Oregon, we focus on a man and a woman simply known as the Demon and the Lady, respectively. The two engage in a one-night stand that develops into a cat-and-mouse game of murder. However, nothing is what it seems. This film reminded me of a Quentin Tarantino film in that it takes tropes of the genre and flips them on their head. Not to mention it is violent and non-linear. Tarantino was hardly the first director to do any of this, but you can feel the inspiration in this film just based on the way it is all presented to us. It reminded me of Kill Bill, with its style as well as the titles for character names. Almost like the names these characters will be known as in fables of the events when told in the future. I don't always like to compare to other films, but I feel that mentioning Tarantino will give you a feel for the film tonally if you aren't yet sure about seeing it. This review will be spoiler-free, which is tricky because the trailers only scratch the surface, and I'm going to try to abide by what they have shown you. The film confidently claims at the outset that it is entirely shot on 35mm. I love that they did this. It is a unique thing to do, but I think it is good for general audiences that are not as well versed in the look of film. It will help them to take notice. It is a harder process to shoot on film. I value the reverence the film has for it. The reason the film looks so beautiful is because it is shot on 35mm, and this proclamation reminds you of that straight away. It also evokes the 1970s in a great way, as this film feels like a twist on 70s wilderness slashers. Actor Giovanni Ribisi is the director of photography, and he does a fine job. The colours are lush, in particular the green fields and the use of red for blood, clothing, and the wig of the protagonist. For someone well versed in subversive horror, the twist on the formula will likely be immediately predictable to you, but if you aren't used to this kind of movie, you will be pleasantly surprised as it staves off its reveal well. It does this through its non-linear timeline, removing sections in an attempt to lull you into a false sense of security with the style of the film and its potential cliches. Even once the twist is revealed, you're still waiting for all the other pieces of the narrative to be filled in. Once you understand the conflict and dynamics, you still find yourself wondering how they get from point A to C when you haven't yet been shown B. I appreciated the perspective the film took on its story, which appeared simultaneously pulpy and plausible. It was nuanced and gave a voice to the characters that usually don't have a voice in these kinds of movies. For that reason, it felt fresh and politically topical, but never sacrificed being simply fun. Willa Fitzgerald gives a good performance, but for all the crying and screaming, it is a quiet dialogue exchange in a car early on in the film that impressed me the most. The lady tells the demon what she wants, and the camera holds on her as only a blue light hits her face through the car windscreen. She pierces with her eyes, and her tone of voice has conviction. I could see this actress being quite hypnotizing if given an incredible monologue by a top-level screenwriter. Kyle Gallner and all the other actors in the film deliver good performances as well. One idea I found particularly entertaining was when a character was given ketamine to incapacitate them, but they end up combating it with cocaine. I thought that was really funny. About halfway through the film, a character discovers something inside of a wallet that I thought was a really clever way to shift the story, but it didn't really go anywhere, unfortunately. Still, the narrative unravels in a way that you can't always see coming in Act 3. You are just along for the crazy ride. The sharp 96-minute runtime is perfect for a film like this. It was well paced. It didn't feel too long or too short. You can tell that director J.T. Molnar was given free rein to realise his vision. His stylistic choices are easy on the eye, and whilst they are a bit derivative, I highly appreciated his ambition to flip the genre conventions on their head with a nuanced social commentary. Don't be scared by the term social commentary though. Molnar never sacrifices the pulpy entertainment value and never gets pretentious. If you want an entertaining and at times violent thriller that is beautifully shot, well acted, and will keep you on your toes, check out Strange Darling.